that was a higher degree of difficulty and more clutch shot than Jordan's against Utah. All I am saying is that was game 6 that Jordan did his. They were going to have a game 7 even if he missed. LeBron was going to be, it was a streak over. He's been working on the streak since 2007. And he nails it. So I'm just saying, just add that to the little legacy bar. He suffers his 2nd injury ever, has the self-awareness, I need to hit a 3 to get to 10 points. I can do that even though I basically have a broken leg. It's like Tiger at the Masters. Broken leg, still can do it.
I won't make that leap, but I think it is a fascinating point made by Nick Wright.
Just what people are saying,
let's
Jenna.
stick with hoops.
It's just the scuttlebutt. That's what I hear.
I'm sure that's what it is. Hey, with today's trade deadline now, 7 hours away.
Don't do math.
One of the names we're watching closely, Kyle.
Don't do that to yourself.
So one of the names we're watching closely is Kyle Lowry. So listen. Woj is reporting that the Lakers are actually a sleeper team to get him in the East, to get him out there with the Lakers. In the East, though, it appears it's the Sixers and maybe the Miami Heat in that mix. So here's Kyle Lowry on what likely was his last game with Toronto last night.
It was kind of weird tonight, you know, not knowing what the next step would be, just with, you know, understanding that there's things that could possibly be done on the front of me and then other guys in our team and in the organization. So it's kind of weird, I'll be honest with you. But, you know, it was great to get a win. It was great. It felt good to be out there. And, you know, it would have been, of course, it would have been crazier if it was in Toronto, I'm assuming, I would think. But it was different tonight, for sure. I mean, who knows what's going to happen? Like, no one knows what's going to happen. But it was definitely, for sure, different.
All right, we got Chris Broussard joining us now. Broussard, good morning. Which contender do you think would benefit most from adding Kyle Lowry?
Well, you said the 3 teams, Philadelphia, Miami, and the Lakers. Let's toss out Miami because with or without Kyle Lowry, they're not winning the East, much less the NBA Finals. They would improve, no doubt, but not enough. They wouldn't be good enough. All right, so I'm tossing them out. I'll go to the West. The Lakers. This would be huge because in addition to bringing a championship pedigree, more leadership, defense, toughness, Kyle Lowry would bring 3-point shooting. And they're lacking in that. They're 22nd in the league in 3-point percentage, 25th in 3-point attempts. He's hitting 39% on 7 threes a game in Toronto this year. Dennis Schroeder playing well, but only hitting 32% of his 3-point attempts. So Lowry would really feel a need for the Lakers. However, the Lakers, who with Lowry probably become the favorite again with Fox Bet and in many other people's minds. But even without Lowry, they still have a solid chance, even though I said Brooklyn. Lakers still have a solid chance of winning it even without Lowry. That takes me to Philadelphia, which is my answer. I don't think the Sixers are a legitimate championship contender. I mean, they're a contender, but they're not going to win the championship. I don't think they can beat Brooklyn right now. Give them Kyle Lowry, and all of a sudden, they have a legitimate chance of winning the championship. I still think Brooklyn's better, and I still would pick Brooklyn over them, but now I could actually see Philadelphia with a Kyle Lowry beating Brooklyn. So I think you take a team like the Sixers who cannot win a championship as we speak right now. You give them Kyle Lowry, and now they have a shot. A shot, not the favorite, but a shot.
Wow. I'm just blown away by the disrespect Chris Broussard is showing to everyone in the East that isn't the dynastic, unbeatable, defending champion Brooklyn Nets. I mean, my God, Miami, defending Eastern Conference champions. Add Kyle Lowry, don't add Kyle Lowry, doesn't matter. Philadelphia, they had the guy who was the MVP of the league before he goes down. They still, if I'm not mistaken, have a better record than Brooklyn. They still have a better record than Brooklyn, but no, they got no shot because the Nets, who have played 97 minutes with their big 3 on the court together, are so unbeatable. So let me answer all this. The contender that would actually benefit the most is the Clippers. They desperately need Kyle Lowry. Unfortunately, they have no assets to give up, so that no assets that anybody wants, so they're off the board. I think the Lakers would benefit, but I was shocked to hear that they are being included in this, because it's tough for me to see a trade that really makes sense for Toronto now. If Lowry just flatly says that is the only place I want to go, I think Toronto will do him a solid, because he's the best player in franchise history, and he's earned that. He helped bring them a title. And one other piece of so the audience understands, whoever trades for Kyle Lowry will be signing him to an extension. That is basically well known, that if you trade for him, you're re-upping him for probably a couple more years. I think Philly would become, to me, they are right now the slight favorites in the East. They would become the overwhelming favorites in the East if they got Kyle Lowry. He is perfect for them. But from what I'm hearing, Philadelphia is not optimistic that they will get Kyle Lowry. I think he ends up in Miami, and I am very excited to replay that clip of Chris Broussard disrespecting the Heat if they get Kyle Lowry when we're going into Game 6 Nets Heat, and Kyle Lowry and Jimmy Butler are putting Kyrie and James Harden in the torture chamber night after night with psychological warfare. I'm excited for that. Kyle Lowry and Jimmy Butler, both of whom have better playoff moments individually than James Harden has in his entire career. So I'm excited for both of those. Oh, it's true. You can look all aghast, but you know I'm right. So I'm excited for that.
You mentioned Kevin Durant. There's this one guy named Kevin Durant. I haven't heard come out of your mouth.
I didn't say I would pick the Heat to beat the Nets. I'm just saying you're dismissing the defending Eastern Conference champion Heat entirely.
What are we talking about then?
But Brandon, I think Philly would benefit the most of the teams on the list, but I think Miami is, by the end of today, I think Kyle Lowry is going to be on the Miami Heat.
Listen, no, Chris, you're right with this Miami thing. What are we talking about here if he can't go win a championship? So Kyle Lowry, cross Miami off the list. You have no chance of beating the Nets. Now, if the best player on the planet was healthy right now and he was actually playing, I would say go there. I would say go to Philly. But Joel Embiid is hurt right now, and we don't know how he's going to come back. His knee, bone bruise, this could take some time. So we don't need you in the East. Go out there and take care of weak West. That's what you need to do. The LA Clippers is the best situation for you. Now, Nick, obviously you're the resident GM. You know that contract and that situation, it doesn't seem likely. But just to answer the question, I feel like the best spot for him is the Clippers. He has Ty Lue, a phenomenal coach that think like you and play like you. I know, I understand that. But I'm going to push back a little bit, because this is going to be a family-type deal. He delivered a championship to Toronto. He has a great relationship with Toronto. I truly believe Kyle Lowry's going to go where he wants to go. He's going to sit down and say, guys, I did some amazing things with you guys. Now, this is what I want to do moving forward. Now, if the Clippers are the top of that list, they got to figure out that contract. I know it's tough, but I can see it happening somehow, some way. To me, that is the perfect fit if they can get around the whole contract. I think, what is he making, 30, 35 million this year?
30 million. 30 million.
30.5. Yep.
All right, Broussard, why is there no love for the city of brotherly love? Kyle Lowry, Philly guy, goes back to Philly, and I'll add another piece. What if one of America's favorite podcasters, who just did a podcast with Tobias Harris, joins him? J.J. Redick on a buyout. So all of a sudden we look up like, whoa, the Sixers added J.J. Redick back so they get more shooting and the leadership of Kyle Lowry, who has a championship pedigree and a little bit of, like, as you like to say, a little dog in him, a little bit of, like, tenacity that team seems to need. Are you still out on the Sixers if I add J.J. Redick to the mix?
No, I'm giving them love. Even if they just add Lowry without J.J., they are a legitimate championship contender now. What I'm saying is right now, as they are right now, I don't see them winning the championship. Even if they were to get past Brooklyn, which I wouldn't see happening, they're not beating the Lakers. So I just don't think they could win it now. But if they get Lowry and certainly add JJ there, they could win the championship.
There we go. NBA trade deadline, 3 p.m. Eastern today. All right.